from the great Commonwealth of Kentucky for his remarks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and congratulations on your new role. I look forward to working with you. And thank you for calling this hearing. All of us on the Budget Committee take our oversight role seriously, and I am very glad that we will be discussing these important issues today. I hope that we will be just as diligent in our responsibilities to develop a budget proposal, and we'll hear testimony from the federal agencies that we expect to be significantly impacted by the President's budget. Director Hall, thank you for your testimony in advance, and thank you for your service. Congress created the Congressional Budget Office to give us an independent and reliable source of budgetary information and expertise. For more than 40 years, CBO has fulfilled its mission, providing impartial, high-quality analysis to inform our decision-making and improve our ability to protect the power of the purse. While everyone here is aware that Director Hall excuse me, was appointed by congressional Republicans, expectations have always been that the CBO director will carry out his or her responsibilities without allegiance or deference to any political ideology or party. Same is true of the staff, who are hired based on their ability and qualifications, not political affiliation. As a result, CBO produces its best analysis regardless of any desired outcome for an administration, the majority in Congress, or the congressional minority. Despite that commitment to objectivity, however, CBO has been the target of criticism, and I'm sure we will hear some of that today. You've actually heard some of it from me over the years. Director Hall, I do not envy you. You have what I would argue is one of the most thankless jobs in Washington, and that is to be our objective referee. And coming from a basketball state, I know how loved the referees are. In an arena where passions run deep, your calls will often be embraced by one side while questioned by the other. One day it's the Republicans complaining, the next it's Democrats. That has been a reality in Congress since CBO's inception. But there's been a dramatic shift recently in the treatment of CBO, and as members of the committee, this should be deeply troubling to us all. Questioning and fair criticism of CBO have morphed into more caustic attacks. Many have crossed the line, and much of this friction seems to center on analysis of my Republican colleagues' efforts to repeal the Affordable Care Act. Look, I get it. I would not want to defend increasing the number of uninsured Americans by 20 million or causing premiums to skyrocket, particularly when there's no viable plan for replacement. But I'm not sure what you thought CBO's analysis would show. The Affordable Care Act expanded coverage through 3 related strategies: requiring insurance companies to make meaningful coverage available to all, requiring individuals to get covered, and subsidizing premiums to make coverage affordable. If you end the individual mandate, which we've just done, people will go without coverage. If you end subsidies that help families afford insurance, people lose coverage. If you take away consumer protections and once again allow insurers to play games, premiums will increase for everyone who is not in perfect health, and people lose coverage. There's no way around the fact that repealing the Affordable Care Act will result in millions of American families losing health coverage, and there's no way to defend that to the American people. So with nowhere to turn, many of my Republican colleagues unfairly went after the CBO, inappropriately impugning the integrity of the agency and the staff. I want to be clear. I think Congress has every right, even a duty, to review CBO's work and ask questions, and CBO needs to be forthcoming in providing explanations. Democrats have certainly raised questions about assumptions or interpretations, but what we haven't done is called into question the integrity of the institution or individual staff members. It's all too easy these days to take refuge in information that tells us only what we want to hear, but that does not lead to sound policy. CBO does not exist to give us the information we want to hear. Its job is to give us the information we need to make informed, responsible decisions. It's one of the few institutions in Washington that serves that role. Attacks on the CBO aren't just attacks on Director Hall and his staff. They are attacks on our integrity as a deliberative body. They reduce trust in government and undermine the standards on which a functioning democracy depends. Today, I hope to hear from you, Dr. Hall, about how you ensure your work is objective and the steps you've taken to increase transparency at CBO. I'd like to learn more about your expert staff, technical capabilities, and about any need for additional funding or tools. You'll likely hear from us disagreements with some of your methodologies. I think some will challenge you on the process and will encourage you to look at alternative methods. I think that's all fair game, and I look forward to that discussion. Thank you again, Dr. Hall, for your leadership at CBO and for testifying today. I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Yarmuth. In the interest of time, if any other members have